Hello and welcome to the Star Coach Show, the podcast where we help coaches shine bright and reach your full potential. I'm Meg Rentschler, your host, and today I'm going to tackle one of the biggest challenges new coaches face: getting those crucial first clients. As a coach instructor and a coach mentor, it's one of my most frequently received questions, and it seems to be a looming mountain for new coaches. We tend to go into coaching because we're excited about helping people transform their lives. And then we end up staring at an empty calendar, wondering, how do I actually get started? You're not alone. The gap between being trained or going through training as a coach and being able to coach paying clients and also building those hours that we need of experience for our certification is where many coaches get stuck. So today I thought I would break down that barrier that we have with practical, actionable strategies that you can implement immediately. And a little footnote here: even if you're not a brand new coach or a coach who is, not in the middle of training right now, I've got to say that if you are struggling with filling your calendar, I'm willing to bet there are strategies that I'm going to offer today that will help you fill your calendar. So stay with us and let's start with the whole concept of mindset. That the elephant in the room, that we are paralyzed by something that I call the experience paradox. We need experience to get new clients, but we need clients to get experience. Does that sound familiar? Do you ever feel like you're in that cycle? Well, here's the first mindset shift that I'm going to challenge you to think about. You weren't born yesterday. You are coming into the arena of professional coaching with skills that you've used in other areas. I have trained over 2,000 coaches, and not one of them was an infant. Every single coach comes with experience into the coaching arena and seem to forget about it as they enter into this new skill. So bring that experience with you. And remember, you don't need to be perfect to start. As a matter of fact, I have yet to meet a perfect coach. We are all on a journey of mastery. Your first clients aren't looking for a coach with 10 years experience. If they were, they would be engaging with a coach with 10 years experience. There are many, many people out there who are looking for someone to partner with them to solve a particular problem, to reach a particular goal. And guess what? You've got the capacity to do that right now. Whether you are still in your training program, you are a new graduate, you have a couple years under your belt, you're still in the place of being able to partner with people if you know enough about the process to lean into the process. So I want you to give yourself 3 permission slips. First of all, give yourself permission to be a beginner. Every master coach was once a beginner. Your enthusiasm, your desire to do this gives a fresh perspective that is an asset, not a liability. Your second permission slip is permission to start permission to start before you really feel ready to start. Because I don't know that we ever feel 100% ready to start. The magic happens when you have enough of a foundation to step into the experience, to bring the gift of coaching presence with you and be fully engaged and fully present for your client, to use inquiry and exploration and understand. You're not going to kill anyone with your coaching. Your coaching is going to be a gift regardless. And I have heard thousands of coaching conversations, and I've heard imperfect coaching conversations, but I will tell you this, 99% out of 100, the client walks away with some value. The client walks away with the value of being heard and seen and understood. So that is a great place to start. And I want you to give yourself permission to charge for your value. Even as a new coach, you have training, you have skills, you have the ability to help your clients create transformation. So don't give your services away for free thinking that that builds credibility. It often does the opposite. Now, we are going to talk about some different things that you can do and creative ways to think about things. But in general, if you believe that the only way you can get started is to give away your services, then I'm going to challenge you that there might be some other ways to do that. So I promised some action steps in today's session, and I'm going to give you some action steps. Your first action step is pause this and write down one situation where you helped someone create a solution for an issue. You don't have to write down 5 times or 10 times, just one. Just one time, one situation where you helped someone create a solution for their issue. That's your starting point. Now, you don't necessarily have to pause this. I'm going to reiterate these action steps at the very end. So if you're still rolling with us, that's fine. Let's go to some strategies to help you determine how you're going to actually invite people into this space. We're going to talk about where are those first clients hiding? And they might not be as far away as you think they are. Let's start with your warm market, your friends, your family, people you've worked with, all the different jobs that you may have worked with. You had colleagues at each of those jobs, your social media connections. This is your gold mine as you begin to transition into a new career. And the career we're talking about today is coaching. I want you to think about this in 3 circles. The inner circle is your close friends and family who really trust you. You've already grown that know, like, trust factor. The middle circle are colleagues and acquaintances, maybe even your former classmates that do know you. Maybe they don't know you well enough to like you, but they know you. They are familiar with you. And then the outer circle is going to be your social media connections, people you've met, but maybe don't know you very well. So those are our circles. Now that you have a vision of those circles, I want you to approach each circle differently. This is your strategy for your inner circle. Don't ask them to be your clients. As a matter of fact, Cynthia Lloyd Darst in episode 1 of the Star Coach Show talked about this beautifully, how she would approach her inner circle when she was a brand new coach, and now she is this brilliant MCC who trains around the world. Approach them and ask them to help you practice. Say something like, I've training to be a coach, or I just completed my coaching certification and I'm looking for a few people to practice with. Would you be willing to help me coach over this next month? Or would you be willing to, do you have some, a goal that you're working towards that you would be willing to have me partner with you to help you get there? I'm not going to charge you, but I would love your feedback in the process. So you're building those skills, and you're not going to ask your inner circle to be your client per se, but as Cynthia says in her episode, what that does is it gives them a solid experience of what coaching is. And then you have built a referral base, people who can refer to you, who said, I did coaching with Joe and it was fabulous. You've got to work with Stephanie. She's amazing. Those kinds of things. So it removes the pressure of them feeling like you're going to ask them to be your client and off of you. It gives a clear way for you to grow, for you to begin to build those experience hours and lead towards referrals and paid engagements. So that's your inner circle. But then you've got that middle circle. Now, these are not people who are in your, immediate connection, but they are people who you've built understand you. They recognize you. They might know and like and trust you. So share your new journey authentically. Let them know this new adventure that you're in, this new career that you're stepping into as a coach. Post on LinkedIn or Facebook about your transition. You don't need to make it salesy, because I hear from coaches all the time, but I don't want to be salesy. I don't want to make it about me. You are making it about a personal shift. Make it personal. Let people connect with you. How many people out there are like, oh my gosh, you made the kind of transition that you really wanted to into something that brings you joy and fulfillment. Who doesn't want to connect with that? So you might say something like, I've just completed my transition into coaching. I just received an executive coaching certification or a relationship coaching certification or whatever it is that you did. And I'm really excited to help people grow in their leadership abilities or create more solid relationships. If you know anyone who might benefit from coaching around whatever that is, I'd love to connect. So what you're doing is you're letting people know. Now, my community knows I say this on a regular basis, and I'm going to say it to you, and I know I've said it on the show more than once. You cannot be a secret and a success at the same time. Just because you've immersed yourself in this new skill and this new format of being doesn't mean that everybody around you knows that. So you've got to share and let them know that you are doing something new, so that you might be the person that pops into their mind when somebody says, oh, I'd really like to do coaching. Do you know somebody who does coaching? Yes, I just read a post from my friend Sam, and she's doing coaching now. So you got to get out there. Now, we've got the outer circle strategy. What we do with that outer circle is we need to begin to build the know, like, trust factor. We need to provide value first. So begin to share helpful content, tips, insights with your social media family, around you, whatever your coaching niche is. Maybe you begin to share leadership tips. You begin to share relationship strategies. Comment meaningfully on other people's posts. Show value. At networking, learn about other people and explore. And if something they say you have a tip or a strategy for, offer that. But it's not about selling yourself. It's about creating connection. Be genuinely helpful without expecting anything in return. What that's going to do ultimately is build your visibility, and it positions you as somebody who's useful in this arena, somebody who can help. The magic formula for initial conversations. I want you to think about this. Be specific about what you do. I help working moms create better work-life balance is much better than I'm a life coach. Or, I help coaches with empty calendars and flagging confidence, fill their calendars with their ideal confidence and flourish with their ideal clients and flourish in confidence. So you want to be specific about what you do, and then share a quick story about maybe how you help somebody reduce their Sunday scaries by 90% in just 3 sessions, or that you after working with this new leader, they were promoted 3 times within the year after you're done working with them. Whatever that story is. That it's not a story, but that it is a story you're sharing around something that happened. And then the third thing is you might make a soft offer. If you know anyone struggling with this, I'd love to chat with them, or I'd love to be available with them, or I offer a 30-minute consult, those kinds of things. Now, a tweak to this soft or this warm market strategy is that you might use this warm market to also lean into offering barter coaching. This is one of the techniques that I use to build my experience hours and paid coaching on my coaching log. Even though it wasn't dollars and cents, it brought value to me and I gave value. And what I did was I used my warm market, that really the inner circle and the circle right outside of that, to actually probably the second circle, to provide barter coaching for small business owners. So in my community, I looked for who are people that I know or other people know that are small business owners that might not be able to afford their own coach at this moment, but could benefit from a coach, and they could barter their service for my coaching. So I know that coaches do this for website design. Coaches might do this for marketing help, do some bartering back and forth. For me, I bartered with a massage therapist. I bartered with a guy who was starting his own pool cleaning business. I bartered with somebody who was doing after school care for my kids and wanted to do some coaching around re-entering the workplace. So you can use your warm market to also look at how am I building my experience and my hours through bartering, which is paid coaching on your ICF coaching log. The other thing that barter coaching helps, we actually have an episode on the gift of bartering. It helps you get really clear about what do you like coaching and what do you not like coaching. So when I'm bartering, I'm determining, do I like to coach small business owners? Do I like to coach this kind of thing? And it's a great way to learn and grow about yourself and what you offer as a coach through that barter system. So another tweak of that. Now, let's move into my second challenge for you on an action step that you can take to make this begin to get traction for you. And that is, I encourage you to identify 10 people in your warm market who either need what it is that you offer or might know people who do. So you're going to identify 10 people and then reach out to one. Reach out to one today. That's my second action step challenge for you. Let's talk about another strategy. So we've talked about the warm market strategy, but let's lean into the beta client approach. Now, with this is called lots of different things. I follow some people who call it like Jeff Walker would call this the seed launch. Stu McLaren might call this the founding member launch. So there's different people call things different ways, but this is basically a strategy that could really work like magic for you. And I've seen it happen. I've used it myself. I know that it works, and it's the beta client approach. So let go of trying to convince people to hire you as a new coach. Let go of the fact that, you're of trying to convince people to do anything. What I encourage you to do is position yourself as someone who's launching a beta program for whatever the coaching methodology is that you're leaning into. What works about this beautifully is that it reframes your newness as exclusivity. People tend to love to be a part of something new and innovative. It gives you permission to learn, to adjust, to improve your process as you move along. And it creates urgency because beta programs tend to be starting at a certain time and limited in size and those kinds of things. So there's this urgency, actually FOMO that can go along with that, fear of missing out, right? So what am I talking about? How would you structure this? Well, I would encourage you to create an idea where you are inviting a limited number of clients into a specific kind of coaching program. So you might say, I'm taking 5 beta clients for my new, dating success program. Or maybe it's a career transition program or confidence and clarity program. Whatever your program is, and then set a clear time frame. So I'm taking on 5 beta clients for my new confidence and clarity coaching program. It's a 6-week intensive program. And because it's a beta program, I'm offering it at a significantly reduced rate in exchange for your feedback and maybe even a testimonial if that sits right with you at the end of the program. What that does is it limited the spots. That creates urgency. Set a clear time frame. People know exactly what to expect, and it lets you know I'm building in this period of time and I'm going to learn about what they need. If it's a 6-week time frame, I'm often asking clients at the end, maybe I have the framework and I know that the next week we're going to be talking about confidence. So, what are your confidence issues that we might want to build in? You can use your beta group to continue to build your program. Be really transparent about the exchange. Yes, this is a new program, but because it's a new program, you're getting in on the bottom level with a great price. And create a simple application process so that it feels exclusive and it helps you select the clients that are really committed to the process. So, once again, let's kind of walk through what this might sound like. Let's say, I'm launching a beta version of my Confidence Breakthrough Coaching Program for professionals who want to speak up more in meetings and build their careers. I'm looking for 3 motivated individuals who are ready to do the work. And because it's a beta program, I'm offering it at $497 instead of the regular $997. Are you interested? If so, send me a message and I'll share the application, or respond to this email and I'll send you an application. Or, if somebody's right there, get their information and send them the application. So, what I want you to think about when it comes to the beta client success is that it offers you the opportunity to build not just your client base, but also your offering. It helps you get really clear on how you're going to deliver exceptional results. You can document the process and the outcomes and tweak along the way because you're going to be getting detailed feedback. It allows you the opportunity to dive in, get case studies, ask for testimonials, and really know what are the results you're getting. And it's through those results and those client stories that you can then use to continue to build your program to invite more clients into working with you. So here's my 3rd action step challenge for you. Think about who is your ideal client and what would be a simple beta program for your coaching niche. What would you call it? How long would it be? What specific outcome would you be working toward? Begin to noodle that around. And if your tendency is, oh, Meg, I'm not ready for that yet, I'm going to challenge you to at least begin to explore it. I really believe that this seed launch or founding member or beta, whatever you want to call it, is probably one of the best ways to step into possibility. So we have our warm market, we have our beta client. Those are two strategies to begin to think about, and barter coaching. Begin to invite people into that arena. How do we build credibility without experience? Let's just hit that question head on. How many of you, as I was talking, were like, but Meg, I don't have testimonials yet. I don't have case studies yet. I get that. And once again, you weren't born yesterday. You were bringing experience, you were bringing success to the table. So let's build your credibility stack. Think about, what training and certifications do I already have? Don't downplay education. You've invested time and money into your professional training, and wherever that came from, that has helped build you to be the professional that you are today. The second thing is to think about your own personal transformation story. What was your motivation for becoming a coach? What problem have you solved in your own life, or, to the previous point, have already helped other people begin to solve in their lives? Your personal journey is powerful social proof. We often are our own ideal clients. So when we can understand the path that we've walked, it's often not that different from the path of the people that we work with and helping them get forward. So your personal transformation story, your own credentials and education. The third is your professional background. And I touched on this earlier. Your previous career is not irrelevant in this, it's an asset. If you were an HR professional, you understand workplace dynamics. If you were a teacher, you know how to guide learning and help people, strive towards their goals. If you were a therapist, you know about actively listening and engaging. Connect your background to your coaching. The fourth thing I want you to think about is getting micro testimonials. Even before you've had clients, you can get micro testimonials. After helping a friend think through a problem, you can say, would you mind sharing how this conversation helped you? Get a little snippet. You can share those snippets on your website. You can even have that person give you a LinkedIn recommendation for something that you helped them walk through. Those small endorsements begin to build your credibility. From the get-go, you can begin to create content and share that valuable content beginning immediately. You can share tips, you can share strategies, write LinkedIn posts, create Instagram tips, start a simple blog. Consistent, valuable content positions you as an expert. I began the Star Coach Show 9 years ago now. I look at what I did little by little, week by week, with consistent content, and sometimes I am blown away by the amount of content that I have. It's through consistency and showing up every single week. And I hear from people and they invite me to do business with them because they know me from my consistent offering of value. When's the best time to plant a tree? 40 years ago. When's the next best time? Today. Today is the day that you plant your tree and start sharing that confidence, or that content that will build your confidence and your credibility. When somebody asks you about your experience, bridge it to your value. I'm new to professional coaching, but I've been helping people with relationship building for years through being a therapist or whatever it was. I'm excited to bring that same results focused approach to my coaching practice. Or, I'm new to professional coaching, but I've been helping leaders grow in confidence for years through my career as a HR professional. I'm excited to bring that same results focused approach to my coaching practice. So, link what you're currently doing with the expertise that you bring forward from the past. My fourth action step for you is to create your own credibility stack. Write down, what are your certifications and your trainings? What's your personal story? What professional background do you have that links to what you're doing now? And plan to create one valuable content piece this week. So, as we are rolling through today's episode and we're getting close to the end, there's this big looming piece there, right? Like, okay, Meg, I've done these things and now I've got people who are actually interested in talking to me about this. What do I do to talk to them about the possibilities that coaching brings? Well, at this point, it's really time to learn more about them, of what their desires are, and what their vision for the future is. Then you can share the value proposition of what coaching brings. And I dive into that in depth in episode 336. What's your value proposition? So head over to that episode to build your confidence in how you engage with around the possibilities of what coaching can bring. As we wrap up today's actions, let's talk about your action plans to get your very first clients. I'm going to give you a 7-day challenge. Day 1, think about what's your current coaching focus and who you think your ideal client might be. That might shift, that might morph the more experience you get. Begin to think about, what do you know to be true? What do you believe about the process or about the kinds of people you want to work with, and begin to anchor into that. So do some work around that on day 1. Day 2, create your credibility stack. What are you bringing forward in the way of your certifications, your personal story, your professional background, and what you believe to be true about what you can offer? Build your credibility stack. Day 3, identify it's day 3, but I want you to identify 10 warm market contacts. Day 5, this is a biggie. Design that beta program offer. What could you offer and invite people into to learn about themselves, to grow into a particular area, and to help you learn more about yourself and what you like to offer as a coach? Day 6, listen to the Star Coach Show, episode 336, and practice that value proposition conversation. And day 7, share your coaching journey on social media. Deep breath, blow it out. Remember, getting your first clients isn't about being perfect. It's about being helpful, consistent, and brave enough to start even before you feel completely ready. Every successful coach started exactly where you are right now. The difference between those who succeed and those who don't really isn't about value or experience or talent. It's the willingness to take imperfect action. Your coaching journey starts with your first client. You ready for this? Your first client is waiting for you to be brave enough to reach out. Own that. Breathe it in. And that's a wrap for this Star Coach episode. If this episode helped you, please share it with another coach who you know needs to hear this message. Come back next week for more strategies, tools, and resources for coaches. And until then, keep shining bright, coaches. Your first client is closer than you think. If you like what we do here at the Star Coach Show, take a moment and follow us wherever you listen. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit that subscribe button. And until next week, take care.